Okay, good morning to everyone. Let's start today's class. In today's class, in previous class, we have seen some of the AI components, AWT components, which we have seen. And the two AWT components are, we didn't discuss about it. Now in today's class, we'll discuss about that. One is menu, another is scroll bar. So first, discussing about the menu of the AWT components, we will first see what a menu is. Now, for in each program, if you see in each program, there is a like this window for each program, and in each program, in the top of the side, there is a menu bar present, and for this menu bar, in this menu bar, there is a menu present. For each of this, a menu is present on the menu bar, and inside the menu, there is the menu items present. Because if you see, if you open the Microsoft Word or everything, you will see in the top of there is a menu bar, and in this menu bar, there are menus present. In this menu bar, there is a menu present. There is not one menu. There are many menus are present in the menu bar, and inside that particular menu, there are some menu items present. These are basically the diagram if you see for each program or in each cases. So like that, if we used to create menu in a Java, then we have to first we have to add menu bar. So if we want something, create a menu in the Java, then we have to first add the menu bar, and then inside the menu bar you will have to add the menus, and inside the menu you will have to add the menu items. That's like this. So we already know that for creating each object of this classes, we have to first create the object of this classes. So for using or creating this, you have to first, what you have to first do, you have to first do that you have to first create the object of menu bar first. Because if you want to use the menu bar, then you have to first create the object of the menu bar class. That is like, we have first, you see that we have first, what we have first created, we have first created the menu bar class object. This is the menu bar class object. Menu bar equal to m bar. M bar is the object, and equal to new menu bar means our menu bar object is created. Because for using anything, using any of these classes, in which I have explained that using any of these classes, you have to first create the object of that class. So we want to use the menu bar, then if we want to use the menu bar, then we have to create the object of the menu bar class first. So that's why you can see the menu bar class object is created first. Menu bar m bar equal to new menu bar. Then the menu bar is created. Now what our next functions will be? Next functions will be to add the menu bar into the frame. Our next functions will be add the menu bar to the frame. So adding the menu bar into the frame will be using what? F. F is the frame class object. F is the frame class object which we have shown that through F means menu frame class object. Through frame class object, we will call set menu bar. This set menu bar method. This set menu bar method, and inside this set menu bar method, we pass the menu bar class object. We pass the menu bar class object into the set menu bar method. Now, what we are doing, we are calling this function using frame class object, that frame class object f dot set menu bar means our menu bar will be, and inside this method set menu bar, we are passing the menu bar class object. So using this command, menu bar is associated with the frame. Using set menu bar command, we are adding our menu bar to the frame. And through how we are calling this function using the frame class object. So using the frame class object, we are calling this method, and in this method, we are passing the menu bar class object. So this will become how? This will become that the menu bar which we have created will be associated to the frame. Okay, so now menu bar is created and the menu bar is added to the frame. Next, what I will do, I will use I will create the menu class object, because in the menu bar there will be menus present. So I have first, if we see this example, you can see we are creating a menu name file. So that's why I have used menu file equal to new menu. Okay, means this we are creating the menu class object. We are creating the menu class object, and the name is file, and the name is file. So the menu, the newly created menu, is the name of file. After that, after creating the menu, we have create the menu. We have then again what we have to create? We have to create the menu items. Sorry, we have to create the menu items, because after creating menu, what we will do? We will use the menu items that is present in the menu. So for this, you have to create the menu items object. So here you can see that menu items I1, I2, because what we have seen in the diagram, we are using new and open. So these two options, these two menu items is created. So how it will be created? Menu items I1, I2, these two menu items. So file dot add, you have seen that we have used in the AWT cases that our main functions, the functions which use through add, we can associate it through add method, we can add the items. So through that, you can see that file dot add means file. What is this file? This file is the menu class object. This file is the, you can see this file is the menu class object. Through menu class object, we are calling add method, and inside this add method we are sending, you can see we are sending new menu items new. It means a menu item is created with name new, and this menu items will be added to the file menu, because it is calling itself menu. It is the object of the menu class. It is the object of the menu class. So through this object we are calling the add method, and inside this add method we are sending the value of the menu items, that is new. So our new menu items will be added to the file menu. Then again, we are adding another menu also. So that's why you can see file dot add using menu items open. Now another menu items are present there. It is open. So it is also associated with the menu file. So new and open, this both menu items are added to the menu. And after adding the menu items in the menu, what we have to do? We have to add the menu file. Our, what is the menu of our used? The menu is file. So this file should be associated with the menu bar. So that's why you can see we are calling the add functions again using the menu bar object dot add and the name of the menu, that is file. So now the picture, this will be looks like this. So this will be looks like this. So first what we have done, we have done the menu, we have created the menu bar object, menu bar class object. After creating the menu bar class object, that means our menu bar is created. Then after menu bar is created, what we have to do? We have to add that or associated that menu bar to the frame. So for this, we have to call the set menu bar method. Through set menu bar method, we are calling what? How? We are calling using the frame class object. So frame class object dot set menu bar, we pass the value of the menu bar object. So that's how the menu bar is associated with the our frame. And after in the frame, the menu bar is associated. Then what we have to do? We have to create the object of the menu. Then we are creating the object of the menu, and the name of the menu is file. So we have done that menu. We are create the menu class. We are creating the menu class object with the name file. That because file is there present, this is the name of the menu. And after doing this, there are how many menu items present? 2 menu items are present. So these 2 menu items will have to add to the menu. So how we can do this? We can do this using the menu object, menu class object. So using menu class object, we call the add method and add the new menu item into the menu file menu. And then again, we call the menu class object, and through this object, we call the add method. And in this add method, we pass another menu item's name, that is another menu item which is open. So now these 2 menu items are added in the menu. And after this, what we have to do? We have to add the particular menu into the menu bar. So how we can do this? We can do using then, we have to use the menu bar class object. So through menu bar class object, you have to call the add method, and add method, inside the add method, you have to pass the parameter as a name of the menu. So that's how this diagrams will be created. So this way, a menu will be created and it is associated with the frame. It is clear? It is clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the way how we can associate a menu in the menu bar, and all this how we can perform this. Okay. So the next type is scroll bar. The next type which we have know, that is 1 minute. The next type which is known as the scroll bar. Though the scroll bar is, if we see, the scroll bar is of 2 types: horizontal scroll bar and vertical scroll bar. These are the 2 types of scroll bar. So these 2 types of scroll bar, how we can use it? We have to now every AWT components which we have discussed, that the first step is creating the object of that class. So first we have to, what we have to do? We have to, if you want to use the scroll bar in your program, then you have to create the object of the scroll bar class. So scroll bar sb1 equal to new scroll bar. So that means our scroll bar class object is created. After scroll bar class object is created, we through this scroll bar class object, you can see we are using set orientation method. Set orientation, this method will use that, this method will create the orientation of the scroll bar, means the position of the orientation or the look like of the scroll bar. So this set orientation method, inside this set orientation method, we have to pass that it is horizontal or it is vertical. Through how? Then we have to use scroll bar dot horizontal, or if we want to vertical, then it will be used scroll bar dot vertical. So through scroll bar, we can use 2 types. Scroll bar is created horizontal and vertical. And how we use it? Using this, we have to create in our program, we have to create the object of the scroll bar class, and through the object of the scroll bar class, you have to call the set orientation method. To using the set orientation method, in case of set orientation method, it takes parameter, and inside the parameter, you have to send the scroll bar dot horizontal. If you want horizontally, scroll bar will looks like horizontally, and if we use it, if we want vertically, then you have to use scroll bar dot vertical. So, and now it returns a horizontal and vertical, it both returns the integer constant. So this is all about the AWT components. So all the AWT components which we have discussed, this is the last 2 AWT components which we cannot discuss in the previous class. These are the 2 types of AWT components. Okay, so menu and scroll bar, and it can be used in our program like that. Okay, so now we will see a next topic. We will see a next topic which is known as Java event handling. Now, first, what is event? Now, in the previous classes, you have seen that we have created a buttons, that we have created some buttons or we have created something, but it cannot, we have those which we have created, it didn't do anything. Now, event means like you have created a button, like you have created a button like this, click here, like this button, this is a button, this button is named as click here, or we can say the level of the button is click here. Now, after pressing the button state is changed. Now, when you didn't press the button, that time the state of the button is unchecked or unchecked. After pressing the button, the state is changed from checked. So after pressing the button, the state is changed. Or after pressing the button, there may be some event should occur. The event handling will control the event, or event handling is used for the handling the event which it is generated. Like we are saying that after pressing the button, it will show the button is clicked like that. So this button is pressed and this message is shown that button is clicked. So that means the code which show the message comes under the category of Java event handling. So event handling means, what is event handling? Event handling means after pressing something, or after pressing, here as an example we have taken that after pressing the button, some event should occur. And here as an example, I say that after pressing the button, the message will be shown that button is clicked. Now, this message, after pressing the button, this message is shown. So the code which show this message comes under the category of event handling. Means the event generated after the pressing the button will be handled by the Java event handling code. So event is the change in the state of the object or source. And event handling is the mechanism that controls the event and decide what should happen if an event occurs. Event handling is basically, it is the mechanism that controls the event. It is basically the mechanism that controls the event and decide what should happen if the event occurs. Like this, if we press the button, we are saying that the message should be shown. So the message is the event. So after pressing the button, this event occurred, that the button clicked, his message is shown. So Java handling code will handle this message, or we can say handle this event. Okay, clear? So what is event? Anyone has any question, or it is cleared? So what is event handling? Anyone? So then there is a delegation model. There is a, we can say, delegation event model. So basically what is look like the delegation event model? Now in every delegation event model, there is a source. In every delegation model, there is a source and a listener. So source is, it is an object in which event occurs. And listener is the event handler or generate the response to an event. Now as an example, we take this a button. So this button is the source. This button is a source because it is an object on which event occurs. Through pressing this button, the event will occur. So it is an object on which event occurs, and it is responsible for providing information of the occurrence of the event to the handler. So the source will be responsible for passing the information about the occurrence of the event, to the handler. So means, and what this is a Java code, this is the listener. So how it will perform? Here you can see that click here is the button. Click here is like, it is a button which is the source, and the Java code which I have shown is the event handler. So for every source, there is a rule. For every source has to register with listener. So every source here, click here is the source and Java code is the listener. So there is a thing that every source has to be registered with the listener. It is responsible for that each in case that every source has to be registered with the listener. And that's why you can see that a registration is occurred. Here a registration is occurred between them. And after registration, whenever the state change or event occurred, means after registration, whenever the state change or event occur, the Java code executed and shows this response. So first, the source will register with the listener. And after that, whenever the registration, whenever the state change, whenever the state is changed, this code, this Java code will executed whenever the state change. Now, whenever the state will change, an event will occur. So whenever an state is changed, an event will occur. Means now it will goes to the listener and the listener will execute. So when the listener will execute, we can say here, the Java code is executed. It shows the response or on the occurrence of the particular event. Means after the event occurred, what is the response or what is the response it will occur of that particular event will shown by this Java code. So basically here you can see, and the response will be passed to the source. So means after pressing the button, button state is changed. So first, what it will be look like in the delegation model, there is a source and there is a listener. So source first register with the listener, and after registration, the source will, whenever the state of the source is changed, or we can say an event is occurred, then this Java code will execute and it will provide some response. That means whenever click here, this button is clicked, we can say that message should show that the button is clicked. So that means whenever click here button is clicked, then an event occurred, and after occurring an event, the button is clicked will be shown. We are saying that. So the message, the button is clicked, the message whichever is shown will be handled by this Java code, because this Java code is the listener and this is the response which are created, that the button is clicked, this message is created. So this is mainly the listener part, that it will generate response to an event. So this is all about the delegation model. Okay, clear what is the delegation model? It is clear to you, or I will again explain it? Please respond.
Clear, sir, clear.
Okay. So this is all about the delegation model. Now for this delegation model, it has the benefit. What is the benefit? benefit is the user interface logic is separated from the event handler logic. Now you can see there is a source and there is a listener. So user, that means there are two separate logic. In case of source, there is a logic, and in the case of listener, there is also a logic. So in the case of user interface logic, is separated from the event handler logic. And the user interface element is able to delegate the processing of an event. The user interface element or the source is able to delegate the processing of an event to the separate piece of code. These are the benefits that we can use. We can say from this code that there is an interface logic code or the interface logic, and it is the event handler logic. So this we can partition these two. Now there are some methods. There are some methods or the examples or the event handling which mainly used. We will show one by one. There is some event handling present in the event handler. Some methods are present. We'll one by one see the listener. Means now if this is a listener, that means it will be in the case of event handler logic. So one by one we will see the methods. Now, what are the sum of some listeners that are present in the Java? What are the sum of the listeners that is present in the Java? First is action listener. Now, to use the action listener, what is basically is? Action listener is basically an interface. It is an interface. And now what is interface means? Interface in all the methods. What interface do in all the methods that are present on an interface is of, we know that is of an abstract method. So action listener is basically an interface, and all the methods present on that interface will be abstract. And what is the rule? The method whichever present in the interface are abstract, and it can be override into the class which is implementing that interface. The method present in an interface is of abstract method, and what we will have to do, we will do that the method that is present in the interface, we will override it. It is necessary to override it in which class it is implementing. Now interface means it can be implemented, not extended. In case of class it is extended, but in case of interface it will be implements. So the method which is present in the interface, the class which is implementing the interface, in that class the method will be overridden. So our first action listener is the interface, and it is used to handle event. It is used to handle event caused by sources like button, menu items, etc. Means the event which is generated by the source, that what type of a source? Buttons, menu items, that type of a source. If that type of a source created some event, this type of event is handled by this action listener interface. Okay. So in action listener interface, there is a method present that is public, and this general structure looks like public void action performed. This general structure is look like this public void action performed. This action performed, And in action performed, there is a parameter, public void action performed method, there is a parameter, and this parameter is the action event class object, that is action event AE. Now, this is the method present in the action listener interface, that public void action performed, and public void action performed, it is taking input as an action event class object, action event A. Now, this method contains the code of the event. So, how we can use it in our program? Now, for using it, we have to first, what we have to first import? We have to first import that. What we have to do, you can see that first we have to import it. You see that first we have imported java.awt.star. That means what? It is used for is user interface, because in through AWT package, we import the AWT package. That means for user creating some user interface or something using AWT components, we use it. But you see, in the next part, I have to import java.awt.event.star. Now, this event class is not present in java.awt package. So that's why I have to import it again. So that's why I have to import this. It is this event class is not present in this package. So that's why I have to import with import java.awt.eventClass.star. Now, this package is used for event handling, and the package import java.awt.star, it is used for the user interface. So now first we import these two packages, and after importing these two package, we are using class event test, user defined class, that is class event test, which is extending frame class. Now we use the frame class because frame class is present in java.awt package. So we can extend the frame class. And here you can see we are extending frame class and implementing action listener interface. So we are using these two in our class, in our user defined class. That one is we are extending the frame class and implementing action listener. Okay. So now how we will create? So in our class, we are creating a frame. In our class, there should be a frame present. There in our program, there will be a frame present, a button will be present, a text field will be also present. So that's why you see I have used frame F, button B, and text field TF. So we want all this in our program, frame, button, text field. So what we have to do, we have to create the object of this. So here in, you can see event test. This is the constructor. So this is in constructor. Constructor is used for creating the object. So you will see that we are creating F equal to new frame. Here you can see that we are creating F equal to new frame, and the frame name is test. Means frame class object is created. After that, button B. So button B equal to new button click. That means we are creating the object. Then text field TF. Text field TF equal to new text field, and the size of the text field is 10. The level of the button is click, and the frame name is test. So that's how we first create the object. So that's how we creating the object of this frame, button, text field. So now in our program, there will be frame present, button present, and text field will be present. So we have created the object of these classes. The object of these classes is created now. Clear? So now what we will do, we have to, after doing this, we have to add it into the frame, because what I have seen, what you have seen, that you have to after creating the button and the text field, we have to put this button and text field into the frame. So putting it into the frame, we have to using what, how should we put the button and text field into the frame? We have to call it add method. We have to call the add method using frame class object. So that's why you see, if we want to add, the button into the frame class, then we have to call through its object, and that's why you see that f dot add, and in this method we are passing button class object. Here you can see how we can add the text field into the frame. Text field can be added to the frame using calling the frame class object. Through frame class object, we call the add method, and in add method we are passing the text field object. So that's how a button and a text field is added to the frame now. Clear? So after adding, now button and text field both are added. So after adding this, we are performing the add action listener command. Now add action listener. Add action listener means now we are calling through the button. Means we are trying that if button is clicked, some event will be generated. So for this, we have used that button class object and then call the add action listener method. And in this add action listener method, we are passing